Hello, my name is Horacio. I have been teaching classes at the Diva program for about 7 years. I'm going to introduce to you today the class called Boundless. There are many things I would like to tell you about what Boundless is and how it came about, but we don't have time. So I want to make sure you know how to get the most benefit of what we are going to do. This is not a class that you can follow or copy me. If you came to regular classes, you know that I am on the center of the room, laying on the mat, and you will be around me so that you can hear me giving you guidance about the movements. So you're going to lay down comfortably, you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to follow the directions that I give you. I will be pointing out certain things for you to look at. That will bring you into a nice meditative inner state of attention to your movements and to the sensation of your movements. If you fall asleep, which happens often, or if you didn't understand what I say in a normal class, you can turn and look at me. But in general, you try not to do that because you don't want to get a crick on the neck when you're trying to relax. Here, since it's a tape that you can go back and play again, you may want to watch the first time to see what it is that we will be doing, or you can just go ahead and follow what I will say. Now, what is it that we are going to be doing? Whenever we move, two things happen. First, a muscle contracts, and then when we stop that action, the muscle lengthens. Through injuries, stress, trauma, the part of the brain that controls movement has set up certain muscles to be totally contracted, permanently contracted, and we don't know how to come out of that. We are using a simple method, which is to pay attention to the sensation of lengthening of a muscle. If I bring my head to my left shoulder, I'm contracting my left shoulder. Next, I will move gently and slowly to the right. At that moment, I'm paying attention to all the sensations of lengthening happening. We will use that idea with every movement. Anything that I tell you to do that is painful or causes discomfort, please don't do it. Do it less, or do it in your mind. Imagine that you are doing it. Try to not to allow pain to come into the movements or effort. Pain and effort brings you away from where we are trying to be, observing the sensations of movement. Don't compete with yourself, don't do it bigger, don't do it faster. For sure, don't go into pain. Instead of no pain, no gain, we have a saying, no pain, big gain. So, if you're going to follow me, please start getting comfortably in your mat. I will be doing the same. Take a deep breath, relax, melt into the floor. Let the floor welcome you and relax into it. Be heavy. Take a deep breath. And we will begin by noticing the sensations of our body touching the floor. A few moments ago, we were in our two small feet. A lot of weight was going through those feet, and many muscles in our body, the anti-gravity muscles, were engaged to keep us straight. At this moment, we cannot fall from the floor, so we can relax all those muscles, give up all effort, and just feel heavy and loose and safe. Please notice, beginning at the bottom, at your feet. Notice the sensation you have on your heels. Notice if one heel feels different than the other, bigger, heavier, achy. Just notice, don't try to improve it, don't change anything. We are scanning the body, and we will scan it again at the end of class, and we will compare to see the effect that moving this way has on us. Next, sense your calves. Do the same thing. Notice if one feels different than the other. It might be bigger, heavier, harder. Keep going like that. Notice there is a gap behind the knees, or maybe one back of the knees closer to the floor than the other. Continue, do the same with your upper legs. Then we come to our pelvic area. Feel the back of your pelvic area. Imagine for a moment that it's like a boat on a placid lake. Notice if the boat is tilting a little bit to one side or the other. That will mean like you feel more weight in one buttock or the other. Continue moving up to where your belt line is, the top of your hips and the top of your sacrum. Now sense from that point to down each leg to each heel. Notice if one leg seems to be longer than the other, heavier, in any way different than the other. If it is, take note of that. This is how long we'll be with the legs like this, because it's pretty uncomfortable for some of us. So, as I describe, always give yourself a moment to see what I describe, and then start. Don't do it almost immediately with me. Bend your left knee out a little bit. Your foot will turn. Then slide the heel up towards your sit bone on the left side. And then lift the knee slowly, barely touching the floor with your foot. And then you'll be noticing where the weight goes when you relax and drop the weight. Do that now. Relax your whole leg. You may have noticed how the weight went into the foot and into your hip, and then it moved up your spine. Knowing what happens, let's do the other side. Be watching for it. Bend the knee out, slide the foot slowly, lift the knee, barely touch the floor with your foot. Notice where the weight goes. Relax now. Take a deep breath. Come now to the center line of the body, above your belt line, more or less where the belly button is, but in the back. And feel your spine all the way up to the head, all the way to the occiput, which is the bottom of your head, where the spine meets your head. There are 3 areas in the spine. Let's try to sense them. The bottom is the lumbar area, where we have a natural curve. At the moment that area may not be touching the floor, you can check. Gently reach with the fingers of one hand. Keep the palm down. I find this easy to do it this way. And see how much your hand can go there. You don't want to go far, you're just checking. Those are 5 vertebrae. Then we have 12 more. The rib cage are the ribs attaching to 12 vertebrae. those we can feel. Most of our weight at the moment is in the back and in those vertebrae. Move your attention up all the way to where your torso ends and your neck begins. And sense your neck now. Those are 7 more vertebrae called cervicals. And the same thing, you can put your hand under and see how much space you have there. If you tuck your chin, it will get flat. If you lift your chin, it will arch more. Just bring it neutral to a place where it is comfortable. Keep going, and now sense the head, the weight of your head, and then relax your whole face best way you can. In my case, no one's watching. I usually do funny faces, and then I stop all of a sudden and let everything relax. Let your eyes feel heavy into the eye cavities. Relax your chin, your cheeks, your mouth, your lips, your jaw. And then come down, sensing the front of the body all the way to your toes. Notice that there is movement in your body already, the movement of your breath. As I talk, you may feel like moving because you're uncomfortable. Feel free to do that. Maybe you need to lift one leg and adjust, or the other. If you don't have to, we are going to be like this for about another minute, and then we will be moving. Notice the sensation of your breath coming into your body. Meet your breath at the nostrils. Feel the sensation like opening a window and the breeze rushing into your house. Feel the air coming into your nose. Follow it. And feel it coming to your chest, to your lungs, and expanding you. Don't make an effort. It's naturally happening. And then breathing out. Don't force it. Wait. Make sure all the weight goes out. Keep doing that while I talk. Probably 2 or 3 more breaths. Notice that in the in-breath, you feel lighter, bigger. Part of your back might be moving away from the floor. On the out-breath, you get smaller, heavier, closer to the floor. We are going to do 6 specific breaths, and we may have to do a few in between these 6. I will describe, you listen, and then you do it with me. Next time we breathe after we hear the idea, imagine that we can make the lungs move mostly forward, upwards, towards the ceiling. Gently and without effort, when we breathe in, we are going to feel we are moving closer to the ceiling. Go ahead and try it. And then breathe out slowly, long, even, gently, until you feel heavy. Keep breathing. The next breath will be, imagine that you can ask your lungs to mostly press gently backwards towards the floor. Feel the floor first, all the parts that you are touching with your back. And when you are ready, gently breathe in. Feel your lungs pushing against your ribs that push against the floor. And then let it out. The next one will be the very bottom of your lungs, like putting something in your pocket and your pocket gets longer downwards towards your feet. Let's do that with the lungs. Breathe in. And feel that you send the air mostly to the bottom of your lungs. And then relax slowly and get heavy and empty. The next one will be up towards the ears. So breathe to the very top of your lungs, gently imagining that your lungs could touch your ears. When you're ready, slowly go ahead and do it. Next one will be breathing to one side of the lungs, the left lung and the left side. Imagine you can gently push your breath between your hip and your armpit. Go ahead, let your left lung inflate sideways. Let it go, and if you're ready, do the same to the right side. Now, at your own pace, once you have the idea, we're going to do 3 or 4 more breaths, trying to go in all directions at once. You are monitoring, checking. Make sure that some of the air goes down, some goes up, some goes back, sideways, etc. Don't think about it, try to feel it. When you look at this later for the second time, you can see I'm pointing to the bottom of my lungs, and I would think of sending it there first. Then to the front, to the back, to the sides, and up, and out. But I don't want you to really look at how I do it. Try to see how you can do it. I have many things that I would like us to do, but I also need to be aware of keeping a slow pace. Like I said before, we are not doing an exercise. We are doing a movement that requires our attention to be inside, sensing what we are doing, and doing it slow gives us more time to observe what we are doing. Next, we will begin to actually move. Please bring your feet together. And gently we're going to tilt both knees to one side. Don't make yourself move the knees to the side. Let's try this. Move your knees just a little bit to the left and hold it there. Feel the weight of your legs, feel the effort of holding your legs like that. So now, slowly, gently, begin to let go and let the legs move towards the floor on the left, but you are not trying to touch the floor. You are looking for the moment that something stops. One muscle says, that's as far as I want to go. And slowly come back. Do the same to the other side, gently, slowly. Notice if this side does the same, maybe it can go more, maybe it doesn't want to go that far. Just notice and come back slowly to the front. If you're not sure, go ahead and do it again. Slowly, smoothly. Go to one side, noticing what you sense in your back, in your legs. Come back and do it to the other side. I will keep talking. Notice that moving the legs engages your hips, and that makes your lower back turn. Again, we are not trying to go further, to do more. We are just discovering what we feel when we do this movement. Stop, separate your feet. Now we are going to move the upper back. Please bring your hands together, touching, and then move them up towards the ceiling. Keep your shoulder blades on the front floor first. Feel the shoulder blades on the floor. Now gently keep lifting until both shoulder blades come off the floor and your back feels rounded like the bottom of a rocking chair. Gently tilt the hands to one side. Keep the arms straight. Your weight will go to one shoulder blade, the other will come off the floor. Come back to center, and then move the hands towards the left, making your right shoulder blade come off the floor. And again, come back to the center. Notice time really goes very fast. So, next, that is my alarm to know how soon I need to finish. So we are going to be wrapping up. Next, turn your neck the same way, gently to the left and to the right. Notice if one side moves different than the other. And stop. Bring the feet together. Begin to tilt the knees to the left again. Move your head to the left. Your whole spine will try to go to the left. Don't go too far. Come back to center. And go to the other side. Again, notice if one side wants to move different than the other. Stop, separate your feet. We are trying to fit one more thing so we get the main idea. Roll your hips back towards the floor, making your bell line flatten. Your back at the moment is longer, flatter. I want you to sense that and notice that the front gets short and tight. That would be a good moment to be breathing out. The next movement is roll your hip forward so that you can press your tailbone on the floor and your lower back will be arching, coming off the floor. And that would be a good moment to have an in-breath to help your front relax and lengthen. Continue with that. On the out-breath, roll your hips back to the floor and flatten the lower back. And when you breathe in, roll the hip forward, press your tailbone on the floor, and feel your front. Let's do it twice more. Breathing out, put your attention in your back, getting long. Breathing in, put your attention in the front, getting long. Do it again. And stop. Slowly lengthen your legs. Relax, feel heavy. Notice the sensations in your heels, in your calves, in your buttocks, in your shoulder blades. Notice the length of your legs. Notice if anything has changed. I give you a few moments to check that. So now bring the feet on the floor again, bend the knees, lift the knees, put the feet on the floor, bring the feet close together. That movement of arching and flattening the back has made us aware of the back, and it has relaxed certain things. Now the movements of turning and twisting will be easier. Let's try this. Tilt your knees to the left, breathing in, letting the belly come out, getting bigger, longer in front. Breathing out, the belly goes in, your body gets heavy and the knees come up to center. When you have to breathe in again, go to the other side. Your weight shifts to your right hip, buttock, shoulder. The left side comes off the floor. The back arches. You are breathing in. Feel the front. Breathing out. Feel the back as you bring the knees up. Repeat that. Breathe in when you tilt to the left. Breathe out when you bring the knees up, feeling your back getting longer. Breathe in, feel the front getting longer. Breathe out, come back to center. Now as you go to the left with the knees, move your neck also together with the knees. Don't try to match it. The knees might go farther or the neck might go farther. Stay with the sensation of sensing what is getting longer. When you go to the side, you're breathing in. Your back is arching, shortening. Feel the front, let the breath help you to relax. Breathing out, the belly goes in, you're tightening in front, so feel your back getting long and flat against the floor. One more time, going to the left or to the right, you might be going at a different place. Wherever you are, don't move the head, move the knees only to the other side. So you're going to feel you're a little twisted. Make sure you breathe in at the end of this. And now breathing out, move both. Move your knees to the center, your nose to the center. They cross at the center. And now my knees are going left and my head is going right. Remember to breathe in and feel the front. When you're twisting and breathing out, you feel the back when your nose and knees point to the ceiling. One more time. In, twisting, feel the front. Out, flattening the back. Feel the back. And stop. Separate your feet. Remember how much or how little the neck moved at the very beginning when we tried for the first time. Please go ahead and try it again. Move your neck side to side. Notice if there is any difference in the range of motion, maybe in a sensation of ease. Stop that, put the feet together and just tilt the knees a few times compared to how much you were moving the very first time you did it. Notice if now is any different. We have learned to breathe with the movement and to match it when it is helpful. So when you tilt, if you relax and breathe in, and as the front loosens, it seems that the legs can go without effort. Breathe out, gently initiate your breath, and notice how the knees come up without effort. And then continue to the other side, breathing in and out. So lengthen the legs, relax. Usually we have an hour. I apologize, it's the first time I do a class alone and with a videotape. So the sense of time is a little different. And I feel like we are cutting the class in the middle. So hopefully I can do another one soon with what we would have done if we had an hour in class. We have hundreds of movements that combine. This will give you just a small peek into what we do in Boundless. If you are curious about it, please give it 2 or 3 times before you can really know what it is that we do. I hope that you see me soon, and I hope to see you soon again. Take care.